Today you're gonna see behind the scenes as I attempt to generate a 60K webinar, and you'll see why even before doing this webinar, and I'm beginning with the end in mind. I have all of the numbers, the KPIs. You're gonna be able to witness and see for yourself how I plan and schedule and strategize this entire thing for this upcoming webinar that I'm doing with Russell Brunson that is happening in about 4 days from now, and you'll be able to see how I'm planning everything. By the end of this video, when you watch and see how everything is laid out, you will get a clear understanding and you'll be able to see why doing webinars, virtual events, and partnering with somebody else who understands how to present, how to close can be one of the most profitable moves that you make when it comes to an online business. So the first thing that I always do is I always map out the entire thing, the checklist, the process, and the numbers by beginning with the end in mind. Okay, so I'm just gonna flip this camera around right now. You're gonna see why this thing's not theory. T-minus 3 days. So before I even begin, I am starting off by setting off the KPIs. Now, what is the KPIs? It means beginning the end in mind so that you're not burning money. You're already starting off with what's gonna happen. Okay, so the whole purpose of this, the initial targets that's being very conservative, is that if we can send 6,000 clicks in and get a 50% opt-in rate, that means we'll get 3,000 people registering for the webinar. And if we can get 3,000 opt-ins, we should be able to get 1,000 people show up live, which is very conservative. Also, because if you've been following me, just about a week ago, we had about 60% show up rate, which is insane because everybody's stuck at home. In order to get 3,000 people opted in, I know very conservatively I should be able to get 1,000 people from my email, from my list, without paying any money, registered really easily. And the difference to make up for it is I could utilize ads and get about $7 cost per registrant. So that means I would be able to get 1,000 people on, and I know that very conservatively I can close a 10% at $9.97, and I know that Russell he's a master closer. He should be able to outdo 15%. But that means that if he closes at 10% at $9.97 at a 40% commission, that's a $40,000 upfront payment, because that would be $100,000 in sales. I will get paid 40%, and I would get $40,000, not including recurring. So if you have watched my other videos, ClickFunnels is a software company that enables people to build up sales process online. But one of the things that they also do is they pay out 40% commissions. In other words, notice what I'm doing. I'm already mapping out what is a very realistic scenario. I'm already mapping out what is worst case, what is best case. So I know that very conservatively, if I can meet those metrics and those KPIs before I even begin, at a 10% close rate, it will be $40,000 upfront, paying about $14,000 ad spend. But this does not include the fact that people who buy, they would be on a recurring, and when they're part of the recurring inside ClickFunnels, I still get 40% on top of that month after month, which is going to be totally passive income. And I know that if Russell can close 15% of the room, that would be $60,000 upfront from just a $14,000 ad spend. Okay, so notice how I have a game plan and a KPI set for every step of the sales funnel. I'm thinking about how many clicks I need to get, what my registration rate needs to be, what my show up rate needs to be, what my close rate needs to be. So I'm predicting every step of the funnel of the process before I even begin. So after that, I am setting up the steps that is necessary for my team, and this is basically a template that we already have in place. This time we're just assigning different people in there. I know I need to have a Facebook tracking up in place. I need to do a usability test to make sure it works, broadcast to the whole list. My team needs to deploy the swipe up images, the video ads. I need to shoot them for people who bought traffic secrets, compiling the list, Facebook ads, scheduling the Facebook Live. So notice that all these different steps I am mapping out so that I am very clear and my team is very clear, so that when we do the daily huddle tomorrow, it's Sunday right now, so I just listed out all the steps. I duplicated it from the process. Now this process was not created from scratch. This is something that I would recommend you to do as well. Anything that you do, put it in a form of a checklist, a process, so that the next time you do it again, you'll have the starting benchmark of what needs to be done. done. So all these steps over here, they were just replicated from the last time we did a live webinar, and we're just replicating again but tweaking it. Maybe we're assigning it to different people, which is what you need to be doing. Okay, so that is how we lay out the initial plan so that we know exactly what needs to be done. So the next thing that I got to work on is a very congruent message to market match, to run ads to get people to come register for this webinar. I want to shoot an ad to people who bought through me to tell them that I'm doing this webinar with Russell Brunson and that they should come register for this webinar. As I'm shooting this, you're gonna see and witness behind the scenes to my languaging, how I'm saying it, how I'm framing it, so that you'll be able to utilize that same model for yourself. Notice nothing fancy, just a selfie portrait style, and now I'm gonna shoot this video right here. Hey, this is Peng Joon here, and I wanted to congratulate you for ordering this book, Traffic Secrets, through my link. This is something, first of all, I don't take lightly. I want to thank you for placing your trust in me. By now, you would have received the different bonuses. Now, here's the thing. This book actually ships on May the 5th. And this pre-order, one of the things I wanted to do is to over-deliver. Is it okay if I over-deliver? So one of the things that I persuaded Russell to do, since this book is going to be out in about a month from now, is that I wanted to share with you guys what's actually included in this book through a masterclass, through a workshop with Russell Brunson, so that you can make the most out of this investment. And I actually got Russell to agree to get on a webinar to teach you the different principles and based on what's happening right now. So that means if you got Facebook slapped, Google slapped, or Corona slapped, whatever it might be, what are the different things that you have to do right now so that you can rebuild and utilize traffic strategies that is working right now. And by the way, in this book, Russell actually talks about this one principle. As you can see, my name's here on the first page, page 1 of Traffic Secrets. Okay, now it looks really small over here, but this masterclass is going to be live. It is going to be something that I probably is not going to be any replays. It is going to be live with both Russell and I, both of us, teaching you principles and things when it comes to traffic that is working right now. So if you like, this is only open to those of you that bought the book. So this is a private invite because you bought the book through me. Okay, I want to thank you. I want to over deliver. So I want to share with you, if you want to register for this masterclass that is going to be happening live. Yes, it is going to be live. It is not some lame pre-recorded webinar that runs every hour on the hour. Make sure you click on the link, register for this masterclass. Russell and I will see you real soon. So that's how it's done. So notice how I shot the video. It speaks directly to them, right? This is only to the people that bought the book through my link. And I'm going to be shooting many different variations of this ad for specific audiences. And the question you want to think about is, how can you create these different ads that really is so laser focused to specific audiences? And that's what I did. So I'm just going to rinse and repeat.
It has been a crazy 3 weeks promoting this book as an affiliate, Traffic Secrets. And hey, first of all, it's Peng Joon here. So I noticed that you visited our site, Traffic Workshop, but somehow you did not register. Now, perhaps you're busy, but I wanted you...
Okay, quick update after day 1 of promotion. Initial numbers are very promising, and it looks like I set the bar too low. Usually when I set a target, it's usually unrealistic and too high. So if you remember correctly, I wanted to target 1,000 people show up live. But it looks like I have been totally setting the bar too low, because after day 1 result, you guys want to see it, it's looking really, really optimistic. And therefore, we're going to double that amount and go for 2,000 show-ups. So this is Marcus, who's running the initial ads. After day 1, you can see that the cost of getting a registrant is $1.80 worldwide. So worldwide audience $1.30, US $4.28, which is insane. It used to be a case where it's usually about $7, sometimes $10, but right now prices are halved right now because of whatever is going on in the world. Malaysia 75 cents cost per webinar registrant, and Singapore 150. So these numbers are unheard of, and it's really because Facebook prices are at, I would say now it's 2016 prices. So I've never seen this type of ad costs in a really long time. How many of you guys are ready for this draw? Okay, I'm gonna have to kind of flip this thing around for a bit. So as always, all right, it's game time, 6:30 a.m. and we have passed 10,000 registrants, and the Zoom capacity is 3,000. But either way, this is something that's never been done. Well, I've personally not done it anyway, and I'm just worried about crashing the servers, the Zoom servers. So we're putting Plan B in place, streaming on Facebook Live, doing a few precautionary measures. See how it goes. And it's now 13 minutes before we begin. Quick last minute meeting with the team just to make sure that everything is in place. This time it's a little bit more tricky because there's a few different parties involved. The ClickFunnels, there is the team, there is a lot of things that is not in our control, like Zoom, and things might be crashing, so we're just planning for all these different contingency plans. There are 19 panelists and moderators just to support this webinar. Close to 11,000 registered now, and Russell's doing his final check, and we're about to begin. 2 minutes. Nervous. Restroom.
Thank you so much for doing that. That was really fun, and it's been a long time since I've done a live webinar. Like, I'm tired of what I thought, and obviously presentations are a little best. Anyway, I'm second guessing everything. I want to redo the whole thing, but anyway.
Not sure if I'll ever show this, but if I do, this would be the result. Sales are still coming in, but pretty insane from pretty much one webinar. So all in all, I think from the entire campaign, including the books, it would be over $600,000 in sales. Insane, considering it all stemmed from promoting a book that I didn't even write. So what's the kind of moral of story? Number one is, at the start of this entire video, my bar was actually set a little bit low. I think like for some reason I thought if we could generate 100K from the webinar, that was the initial benchmark. And as you can see, as we started looking at the initial numbers, we realized that, oh, wait a second, it actually makes a whole lot more sense to scale this. Okay, number one. And number two is, I guess, planning. If you saw my previous video on how my team and I strategize and plan the entire launch, that's number two. And number three, it's really understanding this skill set. I truly believe that this number one skill set of learning how to pitch, present, sell, offer something is probably one of the most lucrative skill sets a person can learn and master in the online environment. And that is something that I've practiced over throughout the entire decade. Pretty much Russell Brunson, same thing as well. I can't think of any other skill set that a person can generate that kind of sales in a 90-minute time frame and still have ripple effect. Sales are still coming in. Sales just came in just now. So that's pretty much it. Let me know in the comments below what you learned from this behind the scenes episode, what your biggest takeaway is. And as always, make sure you smash the like button if you found value, and subscribe to this channel for more videos like this one.